Good morning and happy Thursday. I'm Tristan Winder in the News 2 Alert Center with the Morning Pulse here on this February 26th, 2026. My goodness, the month of February really has just flown on by as we prepare for the upcoming month of March. We begin today with news as Union Pacific train derailed in North Platte Bailey Yard early this morning. The incident happened at approximately 4 a.m. Central along Front Street in North Platte. This is just across from Big Red at the barn. Union Pacific has now confirmed that approximately 6 cars derailed, with 3 of them remaining in the upright position. Rail crews were on the scene throughout the morning conducting cleanup operations after grain spilled from the train cars. According to a statement from Union Pacific, no one was injured and no hazardous materials were released. However, the cause of the derailment remains under investigation. Mentoring can change a child's life. Teammates Mentoring, founded by Nebraska's own Coach Tom Osborne and his wife Nancy, connects students with caring adults who meet with them once a week at school. Now, as the organization marks its 35th anniversary in this coming April, the program is looking for more volunteers, especially men, to help in making a difference.
If you're on the fence about becoming a mentor, we always say just do it.
Yep.
Just do it. You may not think that you have anything to offer to a child, but we need you and you really do.
And details on how to sign up to become a mentor can be found on the News 2 app on Roku. Nebraska Congressman Adrian Smith sounding the alarm about fraud impacting both state and national economies, saying that the issue extends far beyond taxpayer concerns, affecting workforce participation and economic growth levels as well.
I'm concerned about the fraud that's taken place in Minnesota from a taxpayer standpoint, but and how that impacts the entire workforce, the economy in general, both locally and nationally. And we need to get to the bottom of this to prevent that fraud from happening and make sure we get as many folks as we can back on the front lines of our economy.
Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Thursday morning where we've got quiet weather to wrap up this week, but things are going to turn a little more interesting as we head into next week. Outside of some patchy fog this morning, lots of sun today, a little bit of a breeze out of the west-northwest, but some very nice temperatures on the way. Quiet tonight, a little milder tonight than it is this morning. It should be about 5 to 10 degrees warmer in most locations. On our way to what should be a spectacular day of weather on Friday. Lots of sun once again. Now, there's a cold front that will come through, maybe a little cooler up north and a little breezier in the northeast. That cooler air diving southward as we head towards Friday night into Saturday morning, so it will be a little bit chillier Saturday. Still pretty mild in the southwest, but colder to the northeast with more clouds. Moisture it'll stay up to the north and northeast on Saturday, but then we'll start to slide southward. Those better chances will come in for the second half of the weekend, which kind of takes us into what could be a busy start to the month of March. The first week of March includes several opportunities to pick up some much needed moisture. Let's hope we can get there. But until then, looking at some nice weather today, upper 50s and low to mid 60s this afternoon. We'll dip down into the 30s tonight for lows, mostly low and mid 30s. High temperatures for tomorrow, we're going to be back up into the 60s and lower 70s. So this should be the best day of weather this week. Again, a little breezy, not bad though. Some pretty nice weather on the way. Friday night, starting to see that cooler weather come south. Temperatures in the 20s and lower 30s for a lot of us out there. And then you'll see that chill up north on Saturday. Chilly in northeast Nebraska in the 30s. Still in seeing some 60s in the south and southwest. 40s and 50s in between. So there could be a pretty good range in temperatures on Saturday. And it might be a little bit breezy out there as well. Looking towards Saturday night, colder air continuing to spill southward. So now we're talking teens and lower 20s. This is going to be a colder morning here. Maybe starting to see some moisture eventually. And then Sunday, central and eastern areas down into the 30s for highs. Better out west, not as cold out west. But these areas where there's going to be some chillier weather is where the best chances of moisture are going to be as well on Sunday here. We'll take a look at that moisture chance in just a bit. But let's take a look real quick at the long-range forecast again. Very nice the next 2 days. Okay on Saturday, but much cooler. And then again comes the colder weather on Sunday with a chance of some snowfall, maybe a little sleet in there as well. And then beyond that, temperatures kind of gradually warming up, which means we may transition from a little less wintry weather to a little more liquid precipitation down the road here. As we look at the long-range forecast, those temperatures do continue to kind of trend upward as next week goes on. Real quick, going to take a break from the forecast here, talk to my director here. Jordan, if you could go ahead and stick with the Today Show for me, please. Thank you. Please stick with the Today Show, Jordan. I'm recording a stream right now. Thank you. All right, sorry about that. Well, Today Show interruption for me here. I just don't have the time to go do the Today Show cut in for Al Roker, at least for this one. I'll do more later on. But anyway, again, that long-range forecast, you can see we do trend a little bit warmer in the days ahead, but there are going to be some cooler days. And I think the main reason why now is because moisture chances are starting to look a little bit better. And I think that is going to hold temperatures down, so there's a trade-off. We hopefully we'll get some much-needed moisture, but it does mean we won't be quite as warm as hoped, but that's okay. We'll take the moisture. Most of us need it. Looking at North Platte, not going to complain about these next 2 days, and even day 3 is not terrible. Saturday, not quite as cold as the Tri-Cities. We'll see mid-50s for highs. Then it gets a little cooler yet for Sunday, but that said, the cooler weather isn't as cool in western Nebraska as it is farther to the east, so it's still looking like lower 40s. I did still include a chance of rain or snow, on Sunday. There could even be a little bit of a wintry mix. Chances look better to your east, though. And again, if we get better chances, you're probably going to be a little cooler than that 43. But as temperatures kind of start to trend upwards, we start to transition more from wintry weather to maybe more cold showers. Now, at night, maybe still it's cold enough for a little bit of a mix of precipitation here, but again, there's hope that maybe we see more of the just way of liquid precipitation. We're still going to keep some chances down the road even beyond Tuesday and Wednesday as temperatures try to warm up a little bit, but again, there may be some cooler days where moisture chances can't kind of stick around. We'd be looking at maybe Friday, for instance, with another chance down there. So looking at the Climate Prediction Center's outlook, and this is from Thursday, March 5th through the 11th of March here, we're still looking at above average temperatures for all of the entire country, but especially the eastern half of the country. But notice how they do have us above average. We're going to see a lot of these moisture chances coming in from basically what's going to happen is you got this clockwise rotation over the Gulf, and moisture is going to be coming northward here. Now, the bulk of it is going to be to our east, but we're going to be on the edge of it with chances. These areas here are going to get a lot of moisture, I think, as we head through the next couple of weeks here, but we could get some chances in our area as well. So let's dive into those chances. Let's start you off first. I'm going to actually go to the North American model first. I don't use this one a lot because it's a shorter term model. It's only going to take us through Sunday at noon. But again, we're going to skip by the next couple of days. Not a lot of active weather, and even Saturday's not very active. But then again, as we get towards Sunday, and again, this takes us to Sunday morning. Notice it's snow or a mix. And again, this model only goes through noon on Sunday right now. So I'm going to back it up right there. But that's as far out as it goes. But it shows you the trend towards maybe a little snow. This one's a little farther west than some of the others. So that's why I've included at least the chance of snow for North Platte. And then again, more sleet to our south. Some models have more of that sleet in our area. Let's take a look at the European model. This one goes out about 10 days. So we got a little more information data to show you here. So again, quiet these next couple of days. Snow on Saturday is going to stay to our north. But as that colder air sinks southward, so do our better chances of moisture. So notice Sunday, the better chances are eastern half of the area. There's not as good of a chance to the west. And it could be snow or a mix of precipitation. Maybe there's some sleet in there. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. But again, if you're looking for snow impacts, bigger impacts look to be in eastern Nebraska more than western Nebraska right now. That moves out, but we get more rounds. Monday, chance of rain, maybe a little bit of a mix there, especially, especially at night. Tuesday, maybe some rain still. Not as much of a mix, though, as we start to warm up. It's more liquid than anything. Maybe Wednesday, that's why I had a 40% chance on Wednesday, maybe a little better chance there. It's still maybe a mix, but mostly rain. And then I mentioned Friday is another day to look to. Thursday into Friday right there. Rain, but maybe some snow off to the west and northwest here. So again, a subtle shift can make a big difference. Notice that, back this up a little bit. Notice how these next several chances are all better off to our southeast. I mentioned how the Mississippi River Valley is going to see better chances. Yeah, but we'll have chances at least here. Maybe another one Friday and into Saturday here, but again, east of us is probably going to be better than our area for better chances of moisture. Now let's finally look at the GFS model. Again, not a lot through Saturday, so we'll quickly skip all the way past Saturday to Sunday. Again, here comes our snow and maybe sleet. This one's been trending a little farther south lately, which kind of matches with the North American model. But again, it's the eastern half of the area with a better chance, and the western half of the area not as good of a chance. But look at all the moisture to our east and southeast. A little bit of a chance on Monday. It's a lower chance. Tuesday maybe slightly better, but then Wednesday's, I think, a better chance yet. That's why I went with the 40% chance on Wednesday. That's why I bumped that chance up a little bit more for Wednesday. Beyond that, Thursday, Friday, I think Thursday night into Friday is it's a better chance of moisture, which may cool us back a little bit here. And then beyond that, Maybe another chance that could come towards Sunday. We'll see here. That's Sunday, March 8th here. That's the morning of the time change where we lose an hour of sleep there. But again, that's a long ways out yet, but it just kind of shows you that we are going to get into a more active weather pattern. And in fact, I'll just quickly play out the national picture here, and you'll just see how, again, these moisture chances do begin to look a little bit better down the road in the long range here. A lot of Gulf moisture starting to lift northward towards us. Not really looking at any kind of severe weather threat yet for our area anyway, maybe other areas to our east and southeast here. But the general weather pattern favors more active weather into the first at least week of March here. There are going to be several opportunities for some moisture. We desperately need it, so that's some good news, even if better chances are to our east. But again, several opportunities for storm systems to move in from the Gulf Coast or even the southwest United States that will lift towards us. And those ones from the southwest U.S. really give us good opportunities for moisture. Temperature trends, again, we're going to be nice and mild these next 2 days. Then here comes that cooler air Saturday. Sunday's the coldest air. And then we kind of slowly trend upward. But again, any days with rain and moisture chances will hold back our temperature some. But no Arctic air coming in, which is going to keep us away from too many snow chances, hopefully, down the road. Sunday's kind of the day where that snow chance is probably best right now because of the colder air there, right there, Saturday night into Sunday. That's why we're going to have that better chance of snow. But then, again, milder air tries to build in, so it kind of transitions to a better chance of more liquid precipitation and not as much of the snowy stuff. But again, with the moisture, there could be enough cold air to maybe get some wintry weather in there from time to time. So, but overall, kind of a milder weather pattern settling in. So with that, I've pretty much showed you everything I need that you need to know for today. So I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Enjoy the weather. Looks good for tomorrow as well. We'll join you then tomorrow morning with all the latest. Take care and God bless. Bye.